The next speaker I'm going to introduce is a business coach, mentor, speaker, and author. She is the founder of the Create Your Best Life, which is an annual 2-day retreat that helps you map out your goals for the entire year. She's also known as the resident glitter master. Let's go ahead and give it up for Wendi Blum.
Going to school first before going to work. So going to school, doing the things that everybody else tells you that you need to do. So I went to school and got my degree without really even thinking much about it. It was pretty much go to college, get a degree, go to work. And so not really thinking much about the in-between, the things that aren't really talked about. The eternal things, like thinking about external things, about getting stuff, and about the things that you do and the things that you have. I started asking this question around what is your destiny? I started asking myself that question. And I started getting ideas. And I started writing them down. And first, it had to do more with my physical body, because I was all here, the external, right, my physical body, and I was about like going to the gym and getting fit and feeling good, and so when I was about health, so I started writing down some messages around getting healthy and being fit and toned, and I put them on t-shirts. And I started, and actually this is how it started. This is how my very first business started as an entrepreneur. I went and got a Sharpie, and I went to Target, and I bought a tank top, and I wrote messages on the tank top and started wearing them to the gym. But when I would put on my shirt that would say, you know, I'm fit and toned and strong and healthy, I would walk into the gym a little different. I would feel a little different. And then people started telling me that they liked my shirts, and I went and got them printed. I went to a printer, and I came up with a design, and I had these shirts, and people were loving these shirts. And then I was taking them to some of the temples and churches for the holiday bazaars, and I had a lot of designs, because these messages start going off in my mind. So the things that I was lacking, I started focusing on the opposite of that, what I wanted. So often we focus on what we don't want. Don't want to get stuck in traffic, we get stuck in traffic. Don't want to attract that guy, we attract that guy. So I started learning through the power of positive thinking, right? This does happen, right? It's like, oh my goodness, it's exactly what I said I don't want to happen. Voila, there it is. I didn't know that I was a manifester. Just by thinking it, believing it, and speaking out loud, I was drawing it to my experience. Strong and fearless. So I put it on a shirt. My destiny is to be strong, powerful, courageous, and fearless. So I put that on one shirt. Then the next one was like, I want to be grateful. I want to appreciate everything. So I wrote, my destiny is to be grateful, thankful, appreciative, and to count my blessings. And I wore the shirt, and I was like, hey, what else do I want? What else do I want? I'm gonna put it on a shirt. What else do I want? It's like, I want to be a loving mom, a patient mom, a caring mom. And I put it on my shirt. I put it on my shirt, and I would walk, and I'd wear that shirt. And I started coming up with all these ideas and messages. And what happened were people were buying a lot of the shirts. And then they were sharing these messages with me. So one of the phone calls I got was somebody said to me, oh, I love your shirts. When do you have more? I want more. I said, oh, so you wear the shirts? And she goes, no, I don't wear them. Okay. She put them around the room to read the messages when she woke up in the morning. A big aha. And then when I got the message from somebody who was going through, a friend who was taking another friend for chemotherapy every Friday, they had matching shirts about being strong and courageous, and they wore them together in for the treatment. And that's when I knew, and we talked about it earlier, that's when I knew I had so much more that I want to say that I could say in a t-shirt, on a t-shirt. So I started writing books, and I had no idea how to do it. We've already been talking about that a lot this morning. So all around, what is your destiny? And actually the shirt wearing there, one of my designs, all around the butterfly, the caterpillar becoming the butterfly. From the darkness shines the light. Diamonds come, shine bright like a diamond. Right? So from the coal, or so they say, we don't really know if it's exactly true, becomes the diamond. And from the mucky pond comes the beautiful lotus. So just maybe, through our greatest difficulty, through our greatest challenge, we start to ask questions, and what emerges is the beautiful essence of you. Personally, in your family, in your careers, in your profession. And so that's why, that's how it happened, and that's why I started on this journey. And so it became books, and then it became coaching, because people started asking me, how are you making these changes? I started to look different. When I look at pictures of myself, I had this face, like it was a certain face, it looked stressed. My face looked stressed. I felt stressed. But now I was feeling lighter, I was feeling happier, and people were asking me what I was doing. Could I spend some time with you? Could I talk to you? Could I get some advice from you? So I went and got certified in hypnotherapy and reprogramming the subconscious mind, and I really wanted to understand the science of this. So there's an area of science called neuroplasticity. With the brain, we can actually reshape or remodel the brain, which is what we were talking about with Deepak Chopra earlier today. But coming from the pharma industry, I really wanted to get behind the science. So when I had to then be authentic and true, because that was really important, right? That was one of my shirts, to be authentic and to be open and be vulnerable. And to be my truth. And my truth. And I took a year practicing my resignation. And the reason why it actually took a year is because the director of our division had taken his life. And I was on the leadership team to help the sales force get through that. So I took a year, and I knew it was my calling. I knew that I had to bravely, courageously step out. And I had a big career at this time, taking care of my family and raising 2 boys of my own, because the D word, the divorce, came in just like it had, with my, mother and her mother before, that D gene. And so I somehow got the courage, speak your truth even if your voice shakes. And my voice was shaking. And I told my boss, I told my manager, we're in a medical conference. I said, I gotta talk to you, because you wanna go look at some clinical papers? No. So I tell him, and I'm crying. And he's looking at me. And I said, I have to do this. And I started coaching practice. I started writing. I want to be a speaker. I got to share the message that everyone has got this beautiful gift inside of them. I want to get on the other side of the clinics. I want to get on the side of inspiration, and you can do and be and have anything that you choose. I want to be on that side. And he said to me, hang on a second. Maybe you could do that for us. Maybe you could stay. So maybe we can design something for you. Now that wasn't even my mindset, so that's the universe. That's the universe saying, really need a little time before you just leap right in there. And so I took the time. And so he let me bring somebody on and work with me, and then I only covered a couple key accounts, and he gave me all the time I needed, so I only worked a couple days a week. And I was able to build my practice. And the first clients I had in my business were my doctors. My doctors were coming to me. They were coming to me with all sorts of ideas. They all admired, they all wanted to do, their passion, their art, their books, their music, and other ideas. And so I had 3 doctors that gave me offices in their clinics. So I was in South Beach, I was in Fort Lauderdale. And so my practice grew very quickly. And then I had other coaches come to me and ask me, how do you build a business? How do you do this? And so that's when, because my prayer became, how can I help more people? How can I help influencers and leaders so that the whole world could know that they are diamonds, like diamonds in the sky, that there is brilliance and goodness and amazingness, and you can do and have anything that you choose. And it doesn't matter where you came from. And it doesn't matter where your belief system starts from. Because you start a little at a time. Just one baby step at a time. Because I started to take the gigantic leap, but somehow the universe put a net underneath of me for a couple years before I finally completely left, so that I could be congruent, that I could really live my truth and teach this and with every cell in my body. So what I really want to share is the 7 steps to flourishing your life and business. But I wanted to share my story, how I got there, because each and every one of you have a story. Your story, your message, and mess, that M-E-S-S is in that word. And so I know that my mess is my message, it's my why. So the number 1 first step to flourish and grow and thrive in your personal life and your business is to know your why. Because the why takes you out of here, because I could never speak in front of a group. I could never do that. The other me couldn't do that, but the heart-centered, my why, really wanting to make a difference and impact change in a big way. So now I'm all here, all in the heart. When you're in the why, that's your reason, that's your fuel. That's why you get up every morning, and that's why when there are challenges and obstacles, and just putting on this event here, you don't see how many things go on behind the scenes, how many times you almost throw in the towel, how many times you almost give up, and it's going to happen. But your why is your fuel. It makes you get up again and put on your shoes and say, I'm going to do this. I'm doing this for myself, but I'm doing this for others. So that others, the way we look at our children, our families, that we want them to see the diamond that's inside of them. So that we can share that, our journey, our mess, our message, our healing, our growth, our belief, our trust, that we can share our expertise, and we all have it, that we can share our gifts, and we all have it, and our talents and our time, that we can share our trust, we can share in community, and we can do it together. So that why, if you haven't written out your why, if you don't have a personal mission statement, type anything. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a certain way. I had no idea what I was doing at all. All I did was do it from my heart. Passion will win every time. Passion and purpose will win every time. You step into your passion and purpose, and then it helps you move through fear. You know your why. I printed it. I typed it, I put it in a frame, put it next to my bed. So it is my mission to inspire and empower men and women around the world to tap into their power and unleash their brilliance and make a difference in the world. So that's my fuel, that's my mission, that's what I connect to every day. My why. It started out as my kids, and then it grew to the world's children. Now I take groups. I'm taking a group in 2 weeks to Haiti, so that we can serve. Build some homes down there. I'm bringing moms and their children down there so that we can impact change together, one by one, influencing, because all of the beautiful children and the families in the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere may not know that they are diamonds in the sky. They maybe don't know that. And so if we see the light in them, if we share the kindness, if we share the love, then that's how we impact the change, and that's how your business grows. Because it's all a reflection of who you are. You're not one person one part of the day and another person another part of the day. You are the same person all day. You embody who you are. And so, and I invite any of you that want to come to Haiti with us in 2 weeks, March 17th. I just throw that out there. It's life-changing. It's life-changing because, you know, when you step into somebody else's fear, when you come back to your own, it doesn't quite look quite as fearful. You know, whatever it is that you're going through, you walk in the shoes of somebody else going through, like, you know, not even a bed to sleep on, and then all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, that's on your gratitude list. I don't know what I can be grateful for today. I'm going to be grateful that I woke up in a bed. And you start with that. And then the other obstacles that come up, when your computer's not working, your printer's out of ink. Oh, what am I going to do? My printer. By the way, I had slides for y'all today, and I have no slides here, you know, because we don't really need that. We just speak from our heart. If it's meant to be, it's going to be. If y'all want my slides, I'll email them to you. Right? Because why can I email them? Because we have computers and unbelievable technology. Write it down. How many of you have written down your goals for the year, for 2016? Wrote them out. Woohoo, right here. Woohoo, right here. Out of this room, 1, 2, maybe 3 of you have written down your goals. Okay, we got Kathy, Mila. I hope anybody who's working with me, anybody who's done any coaching with me, his hands better be up. Look, their hands I know are up. Put together a whole system. In 2016, I've been doing this for a couple years, where it's a whole planner, where you actually map out all your goals, dreams, and desires. It's a planner to write down your ideas, and it has a place for you to put your intentions. I have just a few here. Not only do I not only have the book, but I have the book club that meets twice a month, and it's totally complimentary. And we do it together, and we are each other's accountability partner. So, by the way, that next meeting for the book club, and y'all are invited, is on the 11th of March. You know, just put out as much of what you do in a big, bold way, and give as much of it as you can away, and over-deliver in every single way. And when you do that, people say, wow, you're giving that much. I can only imagine if I actually really exchanged money for, you know, like that's a wow. Like give all your gifts away. You can't outgive the universe. The more you give, the more you give, the more you give, the more the universe gives you back. And there's abundance. There's infinite source of everything that we need and desire in the universe. You keep giving, and you're a funnel. You're a container. You're going to keep filling up with so many of those gifts, but write them down. In some way, write them down. I am going away. I'm actually jumping on a cruise ship, a convention, right? When I leave here today, it was spontaneous. It was spontaneous because I got a call out of the blue, because the universe does that sort of thing. You know, and I'm jumping on a cruise ship for a week, and I'm grateful that I have such great support, because I have classes and all sorts of things I do all week, and everything fell into place. And so that way, like, you know, I'm living the process. I'm congruent. I'm walking the talk. I'm actually really doing it. If I'm not doing it, how can I say it? If I haven't lived it, how can I share it? Then you know all day long if someone's being authentic. Our gut instinct, we can sniff it out. We know when someone's speaking the truth. We feel it. Writing out your goals, it blew my mind. I had worked, you know, Fortune 500 company, big pharma, for all those years. We had $1 zillion worth of training. I've had $1 zillion worth of training. We wrote out some stuff, but we did not write out our goals, like really write out, map out goals. You know, we might have threw a couple metric numbers together into an Excel spreadsheet, but I'm talking about really getting the vision, really seeing the big picture, really mapping it out so that you can rewire your brain, create those neurons that have little pictures in it, neural pathways that's releasing serotonin, that's telling us, well, yeah, you're doing this thing, you're getting this thing, so you're like really filling it, filling yourself up with all that. Write it down. So I'm going to ask you to have notepad in your book, in your bags here. You have something to write with. One idea that you have right now, one goal, just write it down. One goal. Where's Ashley back there? I'm going to ask Ashley to stand up for a second. Ashley and I said I might do this. Ashley started working with me a couple months ago, and then we started writing down goals, right? Yep. And then what happened? Can we hear Ashley? Starting to write them down. Writing it down. Something happens. A thought actually takes form. It's actually everything is created twice. First is a thought. You have the thought, you write it down, now it's become the form. You actually wrote on a piece of paper, it's already been created. So you actually energetically are moving that much closer towards your goal. A goal, something that you think without writing it down, doesn't have enough oomph, it doesn't have enough power. You write it down, you write it down, you write it down. So who's written down a goal, an idea, a thought that they've had while they've been here this morning? Guys, written down one idea? Okay, awesome. I know if anybody can share. Okay.
It's to create our first Living Shelter Sisters bag.
It's crazy because that's the same exact thing that I wrote.
Living Shelter Sisters.
Was that meant to be? So because they wrote it down in this way, having this conversation, what's the probability that this is going to happen?
100%.
Oh, 100%. So woo on that. That's how powerful that is. Make sure I know about your event. Okay, I definitely want to know about your event. Okay, so then number 3, the third step, and someone might have to keep me honest on my timeline. We're good, okay. So, because the number 3 is your timeline. Okay, your timeline. And without a timeline, what happens? We procrastinate. I can do that tomorrow, right? You ever do that? Oh, I can do that tomorrow. Now, I know I could not. I put this thing off. Every time I would go to write it, I'd say, I'll do it tomorrow. So what I did was I called Hay House. Well, they publish books and they have conferences. So I took a table at their conference that cost $2,000 and it was 60 days away. And I decided that was going to be my book launch. So it wasn't this book, it was a previous book before this one, but I did the same thing with this one. I wrote this one in 60 days. I put a really tight timeline on. So how many of you crammed and studied for an exam the night before? The morning of, right? You get it done. You get it done, right? If you're making dinner and you're having friends over for dinner, are you going to put off going to the grocery store? You're going to get it done. I had an event in January, and what was one of your goals, Kathy, for that event?
Get my book published and have it in print form at the table.
Okay, so to have her, how much time was on that before the event?
Probably about 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay, 4 to 6 weeks. Here's Kathy's book. So now she's a published author. Surround yourself with people that get shit done.
Yes.
Okay? There's a lot of talkers. Talk. They talk. They're gonna do. So those people are lovely. But in your business, those real people can't be your inner circle. We heard this. This is not news to you. It's just a little reminder that we are the average of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. So if you spend your time with 5 people that are always getting things done, that are focused on making a difference. They're getting the right things done. So those people have great resources. Those people are inspiration because they're getting things done. So they're always saying, I did this, and instead of what? What are they not saying? And they're also saying, I didn't get that done. Because if they said they didn't get it done, and they have a lot of what? Excuses. Well, they would have gotten it done. They could have gotten it done. But XYZ and XYZ and XYZ and XYZ. Not to say that things might happen, but for the most part, you know who the doers are, and surround yourself with the people that energize you, because as an entrepreneur, and just in life in general, the people that actually get things done. Now, because I was a single mom, and I had no income or child support, and no money. And so, what was it that I had to get done? I had to figure it out. I had to figure out the career. I had to figure out how to take my career and start out here and go here, because I had big ideas. And so right away, and that's actually why I became a drug launch specialist, why I launched a lot of drugs, because I launched really strong. I could launch a drug to the top of the launch strong, launch really strong. And so your community, your tribe really matters, number 4. Number 5 is energy. Now we talked about it spiritually. You know, we talked about it this morning. And energy really matters, like connecting to your breath. That's really important every day, because you're a physical body, and your physical body's gotta feel good every day. You're not gonna want to do a newsletter, and you're not gonna wanna make sales calls if you don't feel good in your physical body. Now, from the girl that comes from the pharmaceutical industry, this is really important. Honoring yourself, because you are a diamond. You are a diamond, so you take care of you. You put yourself on the top of the priority list. You can get up in the morning and you can check your email, or you can get up in the morning and you can do something really kind for yourself. You can let's just start with setting intention. Setting intention, I like to think of different as goal setting, because it comes more from the heart. You know, so setting an intention to be a kind, giving person. Like that kind of energy first thing in the morning. You know, setting the intention to be, you know, at peace. And also to make good decisions. And as you set intention for all that, then you connect to your breath. Because you're breathing that into your cells. And then as you move your body and you stretch, right, you're moving energy. And so there has been a lot of studies. By the way, I've studied a lot of yoga. I've taken the 200 hours, the 500 hours twice. I mean, I've taken a lot. I've taken brain science, physical body stuff. I was a trainer, I was a fitness trainer, all of that, because all of it matters. You are a mind, you are a body, you are a spirit, like you're all of those things. And all of it's going to impact every area of your life, and it's going to impact your business. Because your health matters first. I always like to tell people that, and I put on retreats every year and bring in wellness aspects because, and it's a couple days, so that you can fill yourself up with health and wellness and business building and the tactical piece that you need. Because if you're busy, you know, taking care of things like that come up, if you don't take care of yourself, what will happen is, you know, somehow you'll have to rest, because something will happen where you'll have to rest. Your immune system won't be strong. Something will pop up. And because, now, your why can also be what pisses you off. So I'm back to my number 1 again, what pisses me off. It pisses me off that there's really great business owners that have great businesses that are making a difference in the world, and they don't have the business that the clinics do. That pisses me off. And so energy and health and well-being, making yourself a priority first because you matter so much. And your families are watching you. Everyone's watching you to see what you do for yourself. And just maybe there's other energies. Maybe there's this divine energy that says, okay, there's 3 people, like this one's not taking, I have like a really big, job for that person, but this one's not taking care of themselves. I can't get it to them. So this one's taking care of themselves. So I'm going to give resources there. So if we take care of ourselves first, then we become really great big containers where we can then take care of other people. And so if you have a goal or an idea or a commitment that you're feeling right now, if you're leaving here feeling, I'm committed now to doing breath work every day, I'm committed now to go for a walk outside. I had a client yesterday, I do this all the time with my clients. I had them meet me outside. They're not going outside. They're at the computer all day. They're working all day. So I'm going to meet with them. I can walk and talk anywhere. Like we can do all our stuff, but we're going to walk outside. Because fresh air is going to make you feel really good. And by the way, you're going to get really creative downloads if you're outside. So if you have an idea that came to you right now, I'm going to invite you. I'm going to invite you to write it down right now. Something for yourself. So remember an idea when it's written down. So I'm just going to give you a second to write that down. I'm going to close my eyes and I see y'all writing down. I believe in the power of visualization. And I believe in you. And I'm throwing my belief all over everything that you just wrote down. So if you believe in the power of prayer, I'm throwing a prayer on top of all of you. So that is number 5, energy. And number 6 is skills. Your skill set. Right? We have to develop. I have had to develop a lot of skill set. Working as an entrepreneur, working with an online business, I'm on and offline. I use a lot of technology. I've been teaching myself Periscope. So I'm scoping every day. How many of you use Periscope? See, there you go, my 2 clients in the back. There he is. Way up. Where's Gerald? You're soon on the Periscope. But you're using other social media, actually, right? So I'm going to have you stand up for a second, Gerald. Talking about social media, because that wasn't your favorite thing, was it, for your business? Okay, so Gerald is the insurance guru. Now, if we don't know where to find her, I was so blessed to find her because I could call her on a Saturday when I had new insurance and I wasn't sure if I could go into this walk-in clinic. She answered my phone. And I didn't have my insurance card. And guess what she did on the Saturday? She faxed it to the office. She faxed it to the office. So people need to know about that. To know that there are caring, compassionate people that would have your back with something really important, like your medical insurance, like how important that conversation is, right? So learning the skills and the tactical pieces. So I'm like, okay, I gotta just have resources for everyone, right? Because what do we make excuses, right, if we don't have it? And if we don't have a way to get it that's really easy to absorb it, like we don't want a manual that takes a lot of time, right? You guys like me with a big manual thing. So I created Prosper in Your Business, which is this right here, which is a business plan, a marketing plan, and social media plan for your business. And so it's really easy to follow, but I just knew that I needed these things. These were the things that I was looking for and couldn't find in an easy to follow way. I didn't want anything complicated. So I wanted something that would speak to me as a newbie in the world of entrepreneurship. So I created this. I actually have these here, if anyone's interested. So actually knowing your skill set and then knowing what areas you either want to develop for yourself or you want to hire people in that can help you in those areas. So social media right now is unbelievable because it is free. Okay, now Facebook, this is an interesting model, business model is Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg, he's interesting. And that he gave away, it was free for the longest time. It built tribe and community, which is a great way to build your business. Build tribe and community and what? What else begins with a T? Trust. Put a lot of goodwill out there. Build the trust, build the trust, build the trust. And then he added the component, which are the Facebook ads. How many of you used Facebook ads? So you can target those ads to your target market. I'm very passionate about spirituality, so I have, I teach a class based on a Course in Miracles every week, the teaching of a Course in Miracles. But in my entrepreneurial workshops, I team people up together, so that you have somebody that you can reach out to and have those frequent touch points. When I work with clients, I see and talk to them every week, if not more. And you just always have their back. You're always looking for ways to highlight them, and to share their heart-centered message and gifts out into the world. So those are the 7 that I wanted to share with you. But what I want to invite you to do right now is, and I mentioned this a little while ago, I really believe in the power of our thoughts and our mind. Your mind is so powerful. It's a machine. You've got beyond a computer, you've got the whole universe of computers inside of you, but we only access about 10% of our power. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and just connect to your heart space. See the color purple and smell the fragrance of violet. And tapping into that area where you see with your inner eye, with true vision, your imagination, the power to see with your senses going internal. I'm grateful for my business. You're going through this list of everything that you are grateful for, and you are so filled with love, and you are so filled with self-love, and you remember that you are a diamond, and you feel yourself as this bright diamond. Really, I believe in the power of words and communication language is actually what I'm teaching this week. I also have a community called Create Your Best Life, a community, and it's a teaching that I do Sunday night calls. So all around the language. So the language in saying is, when you ask somebody a favor, and you ask them, I'm just going to ask you if you could. We don't say it like we expect, if you could, just hold the space with me. I'm going to do the best that I can in this right now because this is my commitment. Sometimes you have to write some things down, and you got to practice in the way that you communicate it, that your nervous system is not activated.